Welcome to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show. Really excited to kick off, I guess, our first guest of 2026, Willie Elam, who is going to be competing in X Games. We're both going to be up there in Aspen, Colorado, here in about a week. But Willie, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, it should be good. Thanks for having me out on this thing.
Well, I know I was on some X Games calls about a month ago, and their big worry was is us actually having an X Games at all because there's been like a severe lack of snow, man.
Yeah, I feel like everywhere out here in the West is kind of the same way. We haven't got much snow here either. Even where we're practicing here, there's no snow, which a lot of times there isn't, but it's all wood chips and turf and water pit.
I know I was laughing at some of the videos that you and I think Cody Madachuk were throwing up, and it was like, yeah, there was no snow inside. You guys were just practicing.
Yeah, no, there's not any snow here. There's snow a little ways away, so we went and rode it a couple times, but for the most part, yeah, just wheel skis and dirt.
Yeah. So, talking about X Games, obviously, I've been on a lot of calls on the prep and things like that, getting ready. I mean, one of the biggest storylines coming out of X Games this year, snowmobiles are back. I mean, how was that for you to get that call? And, obviously you're a veteran, you've been in X Games plenty of times before, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But, how's that for you? Because it's been what, five years since
2020 2020 was the last year that sleds were there, so 6 years now. I think it's good. It's back. It's good for snowmobiling, like the sport in general. I feel um, like I can say like I haven't watched X Games really since there hasn't been motorized. I guess that's more what I'm into. But yeah, getting the call was good. I really didn't think they were going to get it back, kind of. So I wasn't really prepared or like expecting it, but I think it's good.
Well, and I guess that's a question. I know you've been spending a lot of time on bikes. You know what I mean? You ride bikes a lot, in addition to snowmobiles. But let's talk a little bit about, everybody's kind of bag of tricks they're going to be bringing to X because when snowmobiles went away, a lot of guys started doing a lot of backcountry riding and different types of filming. How's that? I know you've been on a bike a lot, but trick progression, things like that. You think we're going to see a lot of new stuff this year? Because I feel like the entire sport kind of got put on a hold for a few years.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, I've been on a bike a lot. We kind of just do the same tricks like that we're comfortable with, like at all the shows. So, I don't know. I had to learn couple new ones, the ones that I did prior, just getting it back, stuff like that. But progression wise, I'm not sure if there'll be anything really new. I guess probably some stuff that like the bigger stuff that you've seen before. But yeah, I don't know. Just with everybody not really trying all the new stuff and all that for the last few years, but we'll see, I guess, once we get there.
Yeah. Well, and how, as a guy that's competed in freestyle for quite a while, I mean, I know they're bringing in the next gen ramp, so they've got a little bit more pop to them. I think the distance is a little bit longer to the landing. How's that affect like runs? Because it seems like you guys are going to get a little more airtime now.
The new ramp, I think it's going to be pretty close to like the last one. It's not much. It is different. Like, I guess like for us riding it, it took me a few days to get used to it, but it is pretty good now. Yeah, it is a little farther back. It's more like, I don't know. I feel like it's a little more like moto ramp, like you're not like straight up and down.
Okay.
But you are a little higher in the air and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been good, but I don't think it's really going to change like runs or amount of hits or anything like that. But
well, I know I was looking back and doing some homework for not only for this, but then for actually on site there at X Games next week. But so the last time they had speed and style, you're doing double duty. Last time they had speed and style, you took home a medal. Last time they had freestyle, you took home a medal. So I feel like, I mean, you're progressing through here, man. I feel like you're kind of in a pretty good position. I mean, last time they had both these events, you were on the podium.
yeah, I feel like I'm pretty good position. Like I've never really been one to like do the gnarliest, craziest stuff, but I always try to do like all my stuff that I know like really well. Speed and style is more my like what I'm looking forward to, just because growing up racing like professionally, I guess. Me and Brett, like we raced on the same team, stuff like that. So I feel like it's pretty good there. Like the freestyle thing, yeah, like usually there's a couple that like wreck. You know what I mean? Like that. I've tried to learn a couple new tricks. Still still trying to dial in a couple of new ones these next 3 or 4 days that we have left to ride. So I feel like it's good.
Yeah, well, and let's talk about Speed and Style. You know, it's one of my favorite events, and I was kind of bummed when it went away. I'm stoked that bringing snowmobiles back. That was one of the one of the events they decided to bring in because I feel like it takes some of the most well-rounded riders to do well there. Like you talked about, you've got the snowcross background. Obviously, we know you've got the freestyle, but I feel like the blending of the two disciplines, that's what really kind of makes Speed and Style special.
Yeah, I really liked Speed and Style too. Like I was bummed when they took it away. Like I said, it is suits my like me better, I should say, just with the racing background and then getting into the freestyle. But yeah, I don't know. It's really cool, like having both. I just hope they, like with the lack of snow, I do hope they have some sort of a track with something to separate some of the people. I guess for me, you know what I mean? Me and Brett are going to be, if there is a track, it's going to help us. So I do hope that, but yeah, I don't know. It's a cool event for sure.
Yeah, well, and I know I was looking at maps. I don't even know if you've seen it or I have, but it looks like there's one there's a couple jumps on there, but there's only one that counts towards the tricks, and it's 3 laps, so you guys get 3 hits. But and the rest of it's pretty much just racing. And I'm looking at that, going, well, a guy like you know what I mean, where a good chunk of it's racing, you're only doing one freestyle hit a lap. I'm like, that probably really caters towards you because you can just concentrate on the flat out speed.
Yeah. Yeah, it does help. You know what I mean? That's what, like, just hope there's some sort of separation in the track part, some like a rhythm or something that you kind of have to go through. Yeah, but I haven't seen the track map or anything like that. I did hear like it was supposed to be like one of the previous years, like pretty close, but with the lack of snow, I don't know. You know what I mean? I guess I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but hopefully there's something there.
Yeah. Well, and here's one, and this is kind of fun because obviously you're a veteran, but they were saying in our call this week, one of the biggest storylines of X Games this year overall includes you. You're actually the oldest active athlete at X Games this year.
I was thinking that the other day. With Bodine, I heard he's not coming, but um, yeah, I did hear that. I don't know if that's good or bad or what, but I'm there.
Oh, own it, buddy, own it. I'm
And
45. I'm still making a living racing and doing things. Just own it, man. Just
yeah, that's
uh,
pretty funny. Yeah, I didn't know that for sure, but I was kind of thinking that after I heard Daniel wasn't coming.
Yeah. It's kind of that weird thing when you go where you look back, you're like, man, I just feel like I'm the young guy still. And then, you're not even 40 yet. You're the oldest guy at X Games. Just kind of a weird stat there, but it was funny. It
Yeah,
was, that was something that was brought up on the call. And I'm like, it's kind of cool, actually.
yeah, it is kind of cool, but I don't know. I'm just still having fun riding, and a lot of the guys that like I'm riding with like all the time on the shows, like Keith Sayers and all those guys, like we're all pretty close to the same age, so it's good. You know what I mean? I guess I don't know. It just keeps you young and active and keeps you going, especially when you're with people your age, really. So
Yeah. How hard is it for you? Because I know you. I mean, you spend a ton of time on the bikes. You do some of the nitro events. You're doing a lot of shows, things like that. How big of a transition is it for you, um, from bikes back to sleds? Because sleds are so much heavier than throwing bikes around.
they are. It takes a little bit to like get pretty comfortable on it. Like a lot of times I rode like with our old ramp, the Super Kicker. I rode bike shows and sled shows, same same show, I should say.
Okay.
Um, I tried to keep the sled to a minimum, so I usually just did a couple tricks and like flipped it and that. But with this new ramp, it took me a couple days to like feel comfortable. I was just pulling early because the ramp's a bit taller, like for flipping and stuff like that. But like the tricks, it's the same thing, kind of deal, same motion, same that stuff. Just I don't know, takes a day or two. Like if you're really wanting to like go to one or the other.
Yeah, so I know, I gotta feel like muscle memory is quite a bit the same once you get a feel for, the weight of the bike versus the sled, but the muscle memory, it's all got to be pretty similar whether you're, jumping on a bike or a sled.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's pretty similar. Just like you're doing the same tricks, same motions. Like on a bike, like flipping and stuff, you got to be a little more precise, like on the pull. Sleds you can control a little bit with like more, like speed it up or like stop it just with the track, the rotation. Um, yeah, but for the most part, the tricks, they're all kind of the same. They both, like sometimes they react a little different, like on certain tricks. But other than that, it's similar, just different machine.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So I know last week or two, I believe, since about the start of the year, but you've had kind of a guest training with you, somebody that obviously people at X Games, I think it's known at this point. But Cody Madachuk's been out there. It looks like he's been training on the sleds with you. How's that been going?
It's been good. It's been good to have him. Yeah, he's like we've spent a fair amount of time together just riding bike shows because we both ride for Keith, KSFMX. And then Keith called and asked. I knew he was wanting to get into the sleds. He just hadn't really done it yet. So Keith called, asked if he could come down and ride. And then, like me and Cody talked, but yeah, I let him ride my sled, my old sled, just for I think he rode it for 5 or 6 days just to see how he did. And first few days, 2 or 3 days, he was doing tricks and flipping and all that stuff. So yeah, it's been good to have him here, and he's doing really well. He's going to be a top one. I feel like we've even went up and rode some snowcross stuff or beat in some tracks in the snow, and he's doing good there too. So
yeah, it's actually kind of weird because Cody, I mean, people around, especially Winter X, they're very familiar with him from snow bike stuff. And I know he spends a ton of time on it, but I just assumed he had ridden sleds and done freestyle. To me, it's kind of crazy that he's taken some of his first hits in the last few months on a sled, because I'm I just assumed the guy had ridden them before.
Yeah, he's ridden backcountry, sleds like that, I know. And then he's snow bike and stuff like that. But yeah, he's never hit a ramp, anything like that. So yeah, January 1 was his first go at it. And he's actually coming back right there.
Hello.
See, dude, it was on cue. It was on cue. Cody Watson.
It was no, but yeah, he's doing really well. So it'll be cool to see.
Yeah. So, talking about sleds and stuff like that, want to talk. One of the big storylines. I know in the past, I think some of it's changing, but let's talk about sled prep when we get to Aspen, because a lot of guys aren't training at that elevation. That Aspen is. And I know in the past, especially with carburetors, stuff like that, it's a lot of adjustments, things like that. How important is it for you guys to get the sleds once you get to Aspen and get them on point? Because I feel like you've seen some of the top guys in the past go, and then their sled prep wasn't right, or their jetting wasn't right, and the tuning wasn't, and all of a sudden you see some struggles out of them.
That's one of the biggest parts. Most of the guys are riding super low elevation. It's good for us. Here, it's not quite as high as Aspen, but we're practicing at 5,500 feet. 30 minutes up the road, we're 75. We can get into 8,000 feet. So right at Aspen.
Okay.
Yeah, carburetor stuff back in the day, a lot of people struggled with that. The new stuff, you kind of have to have laptops and all that sort of thing and know what to do. I'm pretty fortunate, I guess. Arctic Cat is helping back and stuff like that. We built a new sled, or I got a new sled, and then one of the engineers, Alan Peck, he's helped me out a ton, but he's doing all the tuning and stuff in it. Put an 800 in my sled that I'm going to be riding at X. He's actually coming out today to do a little testing and stuff like that too. So yeah, that's a key part there. You know what I mean? It's high elevation compared to where we're at, or where most people are.
Yeah. So I guess fast forward. Obviously, we're a week out from Aspen. When are you heading out? And I guess when we start talking about events, I know we've got freestyle right out of the gate on Friday, and then I think we've got seating for Speed and Style Saturday. Sunday is Speed and Style final. But what are some of the predictions? What's the next week look like for you?
Me and Cody, been working on these next few days. I haven't rode my new sled yet, the bigger one. I was hoping to ride it a couple days ago, but a couple little things we're going through. So this week we're practicing till Saturday or Sunday. I'm heading to my house, get stuff ready, and then taking off Tuesday to Aspen. So yeah, we got a few 4 days left, or 5 days, whatever. Practicing and just getting stuff ready, and then yeah, Monday putting all the wraps and all that sort of stuff on probably and heading out.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for snowmobiles to be back, and really excited to see you back in action, man. I know it's like you said, been 5-6 years since we've seen you at X, and it's gotta feel good to be back there heading to Aspen.
Yeah, no, it's should be good. I'm pretty excited for it. Especially yeah, the speed and style and stuff like that. Got a few new sponsors and stuff like that too to help out with it all. So yeah, it should be good.
Awesome. Well, Willie, I appreciate the time. I know you guys are knee deep in training, but we'll see you in a week out at Aspen.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for having me.
For whatever you do, General Tire delivers.